Venturing into the world of the Amish, a society less touched by modernity, we find that questions about personal, especially intimate lives, are uncommon. Yet, beneath the surface, there are secrets Amish women hold, revealing the profound impact of their community's stringent norms on daily life. From rites of passage signaling adulthood to rigorous codes governing appearance, this exploration opens a window into a way of life starkly different from our own. Prepare to glimpse into a world where tradition dictates every aspect. Number 10. No makeup or jewelry. Makeup, which is a daily practice for many in the outside world, is seen as more than just a cosmetic option in the Amish culture. It is regarded as a worldly affectation. It is believed that wearing makeup detracts from one's true self. Pride and vanity, two faults that the Amish community strongly opposes, are viewed as potential traps that could arise if they painted themselves in the colors of the world. While the general rule is to avoid all cosmetics, there is a subtle twist in the story. Some Amish women manage to negotiate this cultural requirement by occasionally wearing light makeup. It is a delicate balance, a modest rebellion inside the confines of tradition. Perhaps a bit of rouge or lipstick, a subtle acknowledgement of originality within the confines of societal conventions. Let us now turn our attention to jewelry, an accessory that is inextricably linked to personal expression and style throughout many civilizations. However, the Amish society views jewelry differently. It's not simply about aesthetics. It reflects deeper cultural ideals. The Amish think that jewelry, like makeup, is vain and superfluous. Consider an Amish woman, her clothes simple and modest, her hands unadorned with rings, and her ears free of the weight of earrings. The absence of jewelry is not only a cultural norm, it is a purposeful decision to retain humility in a world where exterior appearances frequently take center stage. The Amish community takes a different approach, emphasizing inner principles over apparent decorations. But there's an intriguing twist in this story. Rumspringa. When Amish teenagers reach a certain age, they embark on a period of exploration known as Rumspringa. During this period, students are allowed to experience parts of the outside world that are normally restricted, and yes, this includes the option to wear cosmetics. Amish teenagers experiment with makeup during their Rumspringa, surrounded by the brilliant colors of the English world. It's an exploratory period in which the lines between tradition and the outer world get temporarily blurred. Makeup becomes a means of self-expression, connecting the Amish way of life to the larger cultural world. Number 9. Strict dress sense. In the isolated world of the Amish, where horse-drawn buggies travel the countryside, simplicity is more than a choice. It is a guiding philosophy ingrained in every area of existence, particularly when it comes to clothing. Let's delve into the complexities of Amish women's rigorous dress codes. First and foremost, what most people mistake for a bonnet is actually a prayer covering worn on an Amish woman's head. When these women go outside, it is usual to wear a bonnet over their covering. The cloth used for these coverings is not haphazard. It is intended to signify dignity and humility. The Amish believe in avoiding anything that may cause pride or be deemed too unorthodox, and this principle extends to the clothing they wear. Let us now turn our attention to dresses. Amish ladies love long gowns, aprons, and bonnets made of dark textiles. However, it is not only the color of the garment that matters. It is also how it is worn. Straps on a woman's garment must be at least 2 inches broad to maintain a conventional and modest appearance. Furthermore, the dress must sufficiently cover her knees when seated, stressing practicality in their wardrobe. Bright colors are uncommon in Amish clothing. Instead, they stick to muted colors such as black, navy blue, and dark green. Patterns and embroidery, which are regarded as overly showy, are absolutely prohibited. Plainness is more than a desire. It is a conscious choice that reflects the Amish dedication to a humble and unassuming existence. On Sundays, Amish women dress according to their marital status. Married women attend worship wearing black caps and aprons, with plain white bonnets. Unmarried ladies, however, wear white caps and aprons with black bonnets. When they go to work on the farm, their outfits change again. A gray apron becomes the utilitarian accessory of choice. Here's a shocking fact. Buttons are a luxury that Amish women gladly renounce. Instead, they fasten their clothing with pins, hooks, and eyes. But why this allergy to buttons? It is not a question of modernism. It is about luxury and the possibility of temptation. Unlike their male colleagues, who can use buttons without raising eyebrows, ladies shun this seemingly benign fastener to avoid any unexpected holes. After all, buttons are considered too easy to undo, which might be problematic during dating or flirtation. Amish women's hems are often no longer than calf length, but it is not the only regulation. Hair also plays an important function in their modest attire. Amish women must carefully put their hair up and cover it with a bonnet. This measure is more than just a practical option. It is a purposeful attempt to resist the temptation to show off their locks, a step made to avoid vanity and pride. The bonnet is their go-to solution, keeping their amazing hair as a source of personal pride rather than temptation. Every stitch, pin, and color has a purpose in Amish society, and it is strongly entrenched in tradition, humility, and the pursuit of a humble way of life. Amish women's attire is more than just a collection of fabrics. It is a statement, a reflection of their ideals, and a devotion to a simple way of life. Number 8. No pictures allowed. Imagine life without selfies. Yeah, I know it sounds ridiculous, right? That's just how Amish women roll. No selfies, belfies, hot dog legs on the beach, and certainly no, I woke up like this moments. Why? The Amish have strong reservations about photos. In the Amish community, a photo is more than just a photograph. It is referred to as a graven image. What exactly is a graven image? Simply said, it's like turning the person in the photo into an idol, and this is a big no-no in Amish's view. So, you won't see an Amish woman striking a pose for the camera anytime soon. While celebrities, popes, astronauts, presidents, and even animals flood Twitter with selfies, the Amish sit back and avoid the selfie trend. But who knows, maybe one day we'll see some serious horse and cart selfies from the Amish. We'll be there if they decide to join the photo fun. Now, here's why Amish people, both men and women, avoid cameras like they're hot potatoes. Posing for a photograph is frowned upon since it is perceived as arrogant. Humility is important in the Amish community, and striking a stance goes against that mentality. However, not every Amish person interprets this guideline the same way. Some are more forgiving, allowing themselves to be photographed as long as their faces are not in the spotlight. It's all about achieving that balance between capturing the moment and avoiding letting pride take center stage. Then, there is the candid photo loophole. Some Amish people are fine with having their pictures taken as long as it is not a planned event. It's not the shot itself, but the act of posing that is considered inappropriate. Catch an Amish woman off guard, and she might be willing to participate in your impromptu photo shoot. In a world where selfies dominate our social media feeds, the Amish maintain their traditions while avoiding the camera's glare. It's not about being camera shy. It's about sticking to their principles and avoiding the traps of pride. While the rest of the world takes pictures, the Amish continue to live a life unaffected by the camera, enjoying a simplicity that extends even to how they approach photography. It's a unique perspective in an image-obsessed society, and whether or not they join the selfie parade, the Amish remain committed to a simpler, less photographed existence. Number 7. They can't work outside the home. The expression "a woman's place is in the home" is more than simply a catchphrase in Amish society. It is a lifestyle. Once married, an Amish woman is expected to give up any outside profession and devote her energies to raising a family and caring for the home. It is not about limiting chances, but about emphasizing the significance of their core tasks in the home. So, what does this domestic world entail? Well, an Amish woman wears many hats, including chef, cleaner, seamstress, gardener, and, most importantly, mother. Amish women are frequently found weaving complex harvest baskets, manufacturing historic bread boxes, and creating a variety of products that find use in their homes, such as storage baskets for shelves or wicker dog beds. While some Amish women work outside the home, it is typically in roles closely related to domesticity, such as midwifery or teaching. The Amish think that women's involvement in the community is important, but it should not take away from their primary obligations at home. Now, let's talk about the rare exceptions, times when an Amish lady goes beyond the limits of homemaking. It's fairly uncommon for an Amish woman to start her own business and become the major income for her family. However, this is uncommon and usually happens when her children are older. These are typically modest businesses, such as lovely retail shops or quaint eateries that sell handmade items and home-cooked meals. But here's the catch. Having an Amish woman run a business is unusual, and it requires a delicate balance. They are supposed to be totally productive, contributing favorably to the family while remaining humble and quiet in demeanor. In a world that values simplicity, Amish women do not brag about their accomplishments. Instead, they labor quietly and diligently to preserve the family and home in the finest possible shape. In the Amish society, gender roles are still clearly established. The husband, with callous hands from farm work, is the major breadwinner, working hard to sustain the family. Meanwhile, the woman takes on the responsibility of running the household, caring for the children, and keeping the heart warm and welcoming. While the majority of Amish spouses follow the traditional path of staying at home, A few choose to take full or part-time jobs, depending on their preferences. Whether they are weaving baskets or running a small family business, they continue to be an important part of their community, contributing in their own distinctive way. In essence, Amish women accept a life in which their energies are focused on sustaining the household, a life in which simplicity and tradition coexist to form a harmonious whole. Number 6. Submitting to their husbands. Submission is more than a phrase in Amish culture. It is a way of life, particularly for women. In today's environment, mention submit, and you may be met with an army of feminists eager to spark a heated argument. However, in the Amish society, it is important to the life of every Amish woman. Amish women are supposed to recognize their husbands as the head of the household. It's more than simply a nod. It's a promise to never do anything without their husband's knowledge and approval. This begins even before marriage with the Amish bedroom ritual, which some communities regard as an important element of the courtship process. It establishes the tone for a dynamic in which the husband's desires and ideas are essential. Now, why is submission so important to the Amish community? For starters, it promotes order and stability. Consider a household as a well-organized puzzle, with submission serving as the glue that holds everything together. There is less potential for disagreement and controversy with a definite hierarchy led by the husband. Submission, however, permits Amish women to focus on their primary tasks as homemakers and mothers. Rather than just maintaining peace by deferring to their husbands, they avoid confrontations that could take their attention away from their home responsibilities. It's a delicate balance that keeps the home a haven of consistency and habit. Let's be clear, submitting does not imply that Amish women are weak. Far from it, they have considerable power within the confines of their houses and the community. In many respects, they serve as the backbone of the Amish community, quietly influencing the everyday rhythm of life. In public, the husband takes the lead with the wife following. It's a visual picture of the submission dynamic in action. No squabbling, no disrespect, simply a smooth flow with the husband in the driver's seat, quite literally in a buggy, with the husband holding the reins, indicating his role as the one in charge. However, within the confines of the home, the story alters. A woman may have a greater say in this situation if it is a place where suggestions and proposals are freely exchanged, and the balance of power becomes more nuanced. It serves as a reminder that submission in Amish society is not a one-size-fits-all concept, but rather a dynamic that changes with the ebb and flow of their daily life. So, while submitting may raise eyebrows in today's world, it is a natural order of things for Amish women, as well as a dedication to community harmony. Number 5. No white wedding dress. Now, let's look at the creativity of Amish weddings, where the bride is both a participant and a creator. Unlike the traditional method of acquiring a wedding dress, Amish women frequently take matters into their own hands, rather literally. A white wedding dress is not only unusual in Amish culture, it is also regarded as a display of vanity and pride. Instead, the preferred colors are blue and indigo. Blue represents purity, faithfulness, and loyalty, all of which are important aspects of the Amish way of life. Indigo, associated with heaven and eternity, gives a spiritual dimension to the outfit. They sew their own wedding dresses, creating ensembles that demonstrate their talent and adherence to tradition. Sewing an Amish wedding dress is a labor of love that is driven by modesty and simplicity. The gowns are plainly designed and terminate at the calf, representing a devotion to a life free of flashy or conspicuous components. Weddings, according to the Amish, should be modest affairs, with the holy commitment between a man and a woman taking precedence over outward luxury. These wedding gowns aren't just for one-time occasions, far from it. In fact, an Amish woman wears her wedding dress 52 times a year, every Sunday. It becomes a symbol of not only marital commitment but also of a lifelong connection to faith and community. What happens to these wedding outfits after the initial festivities and Sunday gatherings? Well, in the practical spirit of the Amish, these garments have a life after the wedding. Often, an Amish woman is laid to rest in the wedding gown she carefully fashioned, the white apron and prayer cap that accompanied her on her wedding day, as well as a cloak, transform into clothing that connects the earthly and spiritual realms. It's a unique take on the concept of a wedding gown, a garment that transcends the confines of a single event and becomes inextricably linked with the rhythm of Amish life. In a world where fashion fads come and go, an Amish woman's wedding gown is a constant, representing enduring commitment and a link to the community's traditions. Number 4. No fancy haircuts. One notable practice among Amish ladies is that they do not cut their hair. Now, I understand what you're thinking. Haircuts are a normal part of life, right? No, not in the Amish community, and here's why. Biblical tradition holds that a woman's hair is her crowning glory. It is more than just a collection of strands. It is a holy gift from God. Amish women, who are deeply committed to religious teachings, totally support this belief. You won't find an Amish woman sitting in a salon chair, flipping through magazines for haircut ideas. Instead, their hair journey goes in a different direction, long and flowing. Amish women frequently wear their hair in a bun or braid, but here's the twist. They don't just let it hang loose when they leave the house. They cover their hair with a white cap or bonnet. It's a symbol of modesty and respect for their hair, which is a divine gift. Amish women see obtaining a haircut as a transgression of God's will, a rebellion of their strongly held religious convictions. It's not about fashion or trends. It's about faith and dedication. This practice could last a lifetime. Amish women can live their entire lives without a single snip. The Bible calls it a shame to shave a lady, and the Amish follow this command very literally. Instead, an Amish woman's hair grows long, indicating her dedication to the principles she holds dear. It's an unusual trip in which the strands of hair become interwoven with religious devotion. However, harsh rules do not apply solely to women. Amish men are also constrained by their own set of rules. After marriage, they are not permitted to shave their beards. It is a simultaneous dedication to upholding the traditions and ideals that define their group. The Amish now take their hair restrictions very seriously, to the point where they extend beyond the length of the hair. They avoid not only haircuts but also shaving their legs, underarms, and other regions. It's a holistic approach, with each strand of hair seen as a sacred sign, an assurance that God is with them. And here's an unusual fact. Chopping off an Amish woman's hair is considered a serious crime, similar to a hate crime. It's more than just a personal choice. It's firmly rooted in their beliefs. In reality, there have been instances where people were prosecuted for violently or deceptively chopping off an Amish woman's hair. It demonstrates how seriously the Amish treat this ritual. So, the next time you reach for the scissors or consider a new haircut, take a moment to appreciate the Amish way, a way that weaves religious devotion into the strands of hair, a manner that preserves tradition in every curl and coil. It's a one-of-a-kind journey in which the hair on an Amish woman's head transforms into a meaningful expression of religion rather than a personal preference. Number 3. No formal education. Imagine a world in which formal education for Amish men and women ends after 8th grade. Yes, you heard that correctly. No textbooks, no classrooms, just open fields and an appreciation of the Amish way of life. For Amish males, the route beyond 8th grade frequently leads to practical education. They may delve into the complex processes of agriculture on a farm, honing the skill required to cultivate the land. Alternatively, they could work as apprentices in shops, learning a craft that will serve as the foundation for their capacity to support their family. In the Amish community, education is more than just textbooks. It is a hands-on exploration of the skills that sustain their distinctive way of life. Now, let's shift our attention to Amish women. For them, official education ends after 8th grade. However, their route takes a significantly different turn. While some may go on to become teachers after completing 8th grade, there is a catch. They must resign their teaching position once they marry. For the majority of Amish women, the transition after school is a focused journey into home issues. In a society where the sound of school bells fades by the age of 14, the Amish believe that formal education beyond 8th grade is superfluous. They believe that this level of education provides them with all they need to navigate life in the Amish society. This conviction is not only a cultural norm, it is a fundamental component of their religious beliefs. In reality, the Amish have successfully defended their stand in the United States Supreme Court, stating that any more instruction is not only unnecessary but also violates their religious values. Amish youngsters mostly attend Amish-run schools, with high school and university notions unfamiliar to their educational landscape. Consider an Amish school where children are not only taught traditional courses but also instilled with Amish beliefs and culture. Their curriculum emphasizes obedience and cooperation, developing not only minds but also hearts in line with community norms. A typical Amish woman's journey begins at the age of 5 or 6, and the classroom doors close when she is 13 or 14. Most Amish women forget about the classroom after that. Instead, they find themselves taking on positions as teacher, passing on the knowledge they received during those formative years. However, their focus shifts back to the traditional roles of homemaking and housewifery in a community where submitting to their spouses is essential. Amish women, after the age of 14, go on a journey where their education is judged not by degrees but by the talents and values that support their distinctive way of life. It's a life in which the skills gained in the classroom are reflected in the rhythm of their daily work, the art of rearing a family, and the quiet fortitude that underpins the Amish society. Number 2. Barred from spiritual leadership. If you were to walk into an Amish church, you would notice something extremely different. Women do not serve as pastors, bishops, or deacons. The church's hierarchy is dominated by men, as evidenced by their interpretations of religious texts that draw obvious distinctions between men's and women's duties. The Amish church, unlike many others, follows a congregational basis instead of a complex hierarchy with significant religious procedures and formal leadership training. The typical Amish church is led by a bishop, who is assisted by ministers and deacons. These spiritual leaders play critical roles in helping their congregations through the complexities of Amish culture. Consider a congregation that gathers for a twice-yearly occasion where spiritual leaders are selected. It's a process characterized by structure, harmony, and intense emotion. Everyone, even women, has a say in these choices. The bishop, frequently an unpaid leader, is responsible for guiding the flock through the problems of a quickly changing and technologically dependent world. His function does not include autocratic authority. Decisions are handled with a light hand and frequently submitted to a vote. Ministers, or community preachers, are responsible for delivering sermons on Sundays. They are highly esteemed and have a significant impact on the community's spiritual conversation. On the other side, the deacon serves as a fixer and alms collector, ensuring that the community's bodily and spiritual requirements are addressed. But where do Amish women fit in this spiritual landscape? They do not hold roles as pastors, bishops, or deacons. The reason is based on their gender and the teachings of the Holy Book. Amish women follow a route determined by custom and biblical interpretation, which steers them away from spiritual leadership positions. These roles are not seen as inferior or superior, they are distinct. With Amish women frequently embracing the responsibilities of homemaking, caring for the family, and maintaining the spiritual fabric of their home. While Amish women may not serve as ministers, bishops, or deacons, they play an important role in maintaining the Amish community's spiritual foundation. It's a position that is woven into the fabric of their daily lives, expressed not in public leadership, but in private times of prayer, home nurturing, and family spiritual journeys. In the area of Amish spirituality, it is not about exclusion. Rather, it is about role harmony, with each adding to the rich web of the faith. Number 1. Mandatory to have children. Consider an Amish girl who dreams of becoming an Amish bride and eventually an Amish mother. But this is more than simply a wish. It is a requirement built into the fabric of Amish existence. In the dense fabric of Amish traditions, the thought of a woman deciding not to have children is not just unusual, it is considered sinful. Every Amish woman is expected to not only give birth but to embrace the role of motherhood multiple times. Large families are more than a desire. An Amish woman can have up to 9 children on average. Now, let's look at the causes behind this cultural assumption. Children are seen as divine gifts in Amish communities, and they are warmly welcomed. Contraception is outlawed, consistent with the concept that the act of procreation is in the hands of the Heavenly Father. This taboo includes discussions about birds and bees, resulting in a society in which certain topics are kept silent. Marriage in the Amish community is more than just a union of hearts. It also signals to the community that the couple is prepared to accept the obligations of family life. When an Amish woman marries, she is expected to quickly move into the role of motherhood. Childlessness or the desire not to have children after marriage is deemed wicked and violates the community's cultural standards. According to Amish custom, marriage represents a husband and wife's sincere care and dedication. It is a commitment that the community interprets as a willingness to engage in the act of procreation on a regular basis. What is the result? Large families are more than just a statistical anomaly. They are actively promoted and praised in the Amish community. A woman without at least 3 children is regarded as incomplete. Large families with 7 to 10 children are not only common but also highly desirable. It is a cultural mindset that has persisted through generations, influencing the fabric of Amish communities. And here's the twist. The desire for large families endures regardless of whether the parents actually want or are capable of caring for many children. The expectation of procreation goes beyond human inclinations, motivated by cultural conventions and the profoundly held belief that each child is a heavenly gift. We hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one.